Well, our favorite libertarian and one of our favorite liberals duke it out next over the new financial reform bill and where we're going in terms of government control in this country right now. It is a heavyweight title fight, and it's next. Plus, Jennifer Aniston.
That's why we all stand to gain from these reforms. We all win when investors around the world have confidence in our markets. We all win when shareholders have more power and more information. We all win when consumers are protected against abuse. And we all win when folks are rewarded based on how well they perform, not how well they evade accountability.
Well, that was President Obama just a couple of hours ago, bringing another 2,000 pages of regulation to American life. The president promises that it means no more Wall Street bailouts, but critics say it also means new headaches for everyone. John Stossel is anchor of Stossel over on the Fox Business Network, and Mark Levine is a syndicated radio talk show host, and we have been waiting for this. We love this panel. This is great. So the libertarian,
There's two of us here. It's a battle. It's a battle.
The desk isn't that big, John. And the liberal who favors these bigger government policies. Now, President Obama, you heard him tee it up saying this is going to be great for us, and it's finally, you know, basically his position is it's about time we crack down on Wall Street. They got us into this mess. John, you have a very different take.
I used to believe in regulation. As a consumer reporter, I covered it. I watched it always fail. 2,000 pages doesn't protect us. There will always be bubbles and busts and people who get carried away. Sarbanes-Oxley didn't stop this one. This new bill won't stop the next one. It's just going to waste money. That's
what people say, Mark, is that the government, it's not like we didn't have regulators in place when we had this Wall Street meltdown. We did. They failed to stop it. Why are we to believe that the new regulation, more red tape, is going to stop it?
For one thing, we had regulators for the Bush administration that didn't want to stop it, that worked hand in hand with Wall Street and let them develop.
Was it Bush or was it Barney Frank?
It wasn't Barney Frank. That's got nothing. Listen, Barney Frank's a big supporter of the SEC.
He worked
this
for
is about
Barney
this.
Frank.
I did work for Barney Frank. This is about the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, set up after the crash of the 1920s and basically defunded and made weaker by successive administrations for a long period of time. What did Wall Street do? They went around. They created this new thing. They called them swaps. I know, John Stossel. I think you have a business that does some of those, right? They call it swaps because what it does is instead of calling it insurance or banking, where there are regulations where you're required to put reserves, they called it this new name called swaps, and that way they could gamble with billions of dollars, indeed trillions of dollars, but end up costing American taxpayers trillions of dollars.
But as you know, I want to get you to answer this, and I'll go back to you, John. As you know, one of the big criticisms of this bill is Fannie and Freddie basically got a pass, and now Barney Frank did have something to do with that, and that's why I mention him, because we have him on camera saying, you know, there's not going to be a problem with Fannie and Freddie. Don't worry about that. And sure enough, there was a problem. They extended loans that they shouldn't have extended. We got into a huge mortgage mess and so on. So that's the criticism by some of this bill, that it leaves them untouched.
This isn't about Fannie and Freddie. If you want to regulate Fannie and Freddie, that's fine. That's the hair of the tail of the dog. They committed far less than the Wall Street banks, Goldman Sachs, AIG. They're the reason we came close to the Great Depression. Fannie and Freddie, reminder, and by the way, in defense of my old boss, Barney Frank, let's recall that as soon as he became chairman back in 2007, he passed a bill to regulate Fannie and Freddie. Went out of his committee, but the Bush administration opposed it. So let's not blame Barney Frank for any of the faults that happened here.
All right, go ahead, Stossel. Oh, wait. All right, go ahead, Stossel. Go ahead.
This idea that Bush deregulated is nonsense. Bush produced 70,000
Oh, John, my apologies. Finally, Robert Gibbs has come to the podium, and we can't miss this, so stand by. Appreciate it.